Shri Gurave Namaha.
Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
Krishna
Abhitamyena
Bhutale
Swayam
Swayam
Rupa
Rupa
Kamayam
Kamayam
Radhi Swapadam
Padantikam
Vandeham
Vandeham
Shri
Shri
Guru
Guru
Yuta
Padakamalam
Gurun
Guru
Vaishnavamscha
Vaishnavamscha
Rupam
Shrīrupam
Sagrajadam
Sagrajadam
Saganhara
Sagratavitam
Gundam Tam
Sasajivam Satvaitam
Advaitam
Savadutam
Savadudam Parijana
Parijana
Sahitam
Sahitam
Paritam
Krishna
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 Chaitanya
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 Devam
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 Shri
Shri
Radha
Radha
Krishna
Krishna
Padam
Padan
Sahaganha
Saganalita
Lalita
Sri
Shri
Shri
Vishakhaditam
Visakhaditam
Cha
Chacha
He
He
Krishna
Krishna
Karuna
Karuna
Sindhu
Sindhu
Dinabandhu
Dinabandhu Jagatpate
Jagate Gopesha
Gopesha
Gopika
Gopika
Gopikakanta
Kanta
Kanta
Radha
Radha
Kanta
Radha
Kanta
Namaste
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 Tapta
Tapta
Kanchana
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 Gauranga
Gaurani
Radhe
Vrindavaneshwari
Vrindavaneshwari
Vrishabhanusude
Sute Devi
Pranamami
Pranamami
Hari
Hari
Priye
Priye Vanchakalpa
Vanchakalpatarubhyasya
Tarubhyasya Kripa
Kripa
Sindhu
Sindhu
Vayevacha
Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
Namo
Namaha
Namaha
Shri
Shri
Krishna
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 Chaitanya
Chaitanya Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda Shri
Advaita
Advaita
Gadadhara
Gadadhara Shri
Srivasadi
Vasadi
Gaura
Gaura
Hare
Bhakta
Bhakta
Krishna, Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
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 Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Yeah, let's read those verses. Yeah, no, other verse, yeah. Narayanam
Narayanam
namaskrityam
namaskritya
naram
naram
chaiva
chaiva
narottamam
narottamam
Sarvottamam Devim
devim saraswatim
Saraswatim
vyasam
vyasam
Sujayam
tato jayamudiraye
udiraye
Nashtaprayeshu
nashtaprayeshu
bhadreshu
bhadreshu
nityam
nityam
bhagavata
bhagavata
sevaya
sevaya
bhagavati
bhagavate uttama
uttamaśloke
sloke
bhaktir
bhaktir
bhavati
bhavati
naishtiki
naishtiki
Krishnaya
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 vasudevaya
vasudevaya devaki
devaki
nandanaya
nandanaya
cha
cha
Nandagopakumaraya
Nandagopakumaraya
Gopindaya Namo
Govindaya Namo
Namaha
Namaha Om Namo
Om Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya Om
Om Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya
Om
Om Namo
Namo Bhagavate
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining today's class. Quickly, let's see. We are looking in the third chapter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, first canto. So basically it's titled as Krishna is the source of all incarnations. So we have finished up to verse number 11. So the first 5 works talked about the Purusha Avadars. So the 3 Purusha Avadars are Karuna, Daksha, Vishnu, who's basically for the creation of this material universes. All the ingredients of material creation comes from Karuna, Daksha, Vishnu. Then verse number 2 to 5 talks about the Garbhoy Daksha Vishnu and Shiroi Daksha Vishnu. So Garbhoy Daksha Vishnu is the one who enters into the each universes which is emanated from Karano Daksha Vishnu, and he Garbhoy Daksha Vishnu enters into that. And then from his navel comes the Lord Brahma, who is the secondary creator of all the planetary systems and other things, and the living beings. And also the Siroi Daksha Vishnu is who enters into each of the living entities and each atoms in this material world. So these are the 3 levels of Paramatmas there. So that's related to the 4th question on the sages to, who's that to? Sutta Goswami. So Sutta Goswami answers the 4th question related to the adventurous act of Krishna. And now the fifth question related to Leela Avadas of Krishna is dealt from verse number 6 up to, in fact, up to 39. So in that 22 incarnation, Sutta Goswami mentions from 6 to 29th verse. So we have already seen few incarnations. One is, anyone remembers the incarnations we have seen last time?
Yes,
Narad Muni,
Yeah,
Kumaras.
four Kumaras. Yes, someone else.
Narad Muni,
Next is Varahadev.
Varahadev.
Yeah, the boar incarnation. You know, the
Yeah.
yeah, all the earth is put in a filthy place. You know, neither the Pluto, and then as a boar incarnation, he comes and picks up. You know, Hiranyaksha does that work, and then is Devarishi Narada. Yeah. So here, I don't know, Lakshmi Mataji is here. I'm not sure. She asked a question on the chat last time. Um, a question. I think you want to share that answers, bro. I put it the answer on the this one. Yeah, I'm not going to read the entire stuff. So her question was, can Narada ji travel everywhere? So Narada ji, whether he can travel everywhere without restrictions using his, whether he can travel and why can't we see it? So yes, Narada Muni has a spiritual body. He can travel everywhere in this material world and in the spiritual world. He has what to say, such a boon with him. And in fact, in the chapter 6 of the first canto, Vyasadeva asks him how he is traveling around. So in chapter 6 of this canto, we are in chapter 3rd. So we will see that in another few chapters on Narada's traveling with his Veena across the world. So Narada's presence is actually, Narada is actually having the transcendental body. His presence is felt by those who are actually absorbed in devotional service. That's the simple answer. His presence is felt by those who are fully involved. A pure devotee will be able to present. So how is this? How we can understand that is, Prabhupada has mentioned in his, many people have given instances in the Lilamrita that Prabhupada mentioning, in his kirtans, in his classes, Narada Muni's presence there. So there's one of the report by Yamuna Devidasi Mataji in one of the kirtans during the time. Prabhupada was, his voice became so loud and he was shouting. In fact, she says it was like Narsingadev, like crying out. He says, everyone chant, chant, chant. Then he was also shouting, Narada Muni, no, he's Bajare. He's doing kirtan here. He is doing kirtan with his Veena, Radhika Ramana Dev he is here and he is doing the kirtan here. So all of you do that. So and then in fact after that kirtan next morning she asked him, Prabhupada, why were you so excited last time? He said Narada Muni was there. Did you guys not see him? So like that, many people have spoken about this. Not just this incident. There was also another incident happening in London, Bury, where that time there were very sparse attendance. Very very less people were there in the kirtan. But still, Narada Muni said, today, Prabhupada said, today Narada Muni is there. Please put a asan for him. Let him also sit. So Prabhupada was able to see him. There was another incident in Los Angeles also where, devotees went and, invited many people to come for a discourse of Srila Prabhupada. But during that time, hardly 10 people only attended. Very few people were there. So some of the organizers, they went to Prabhupada and told him, Prabhupada, we are very sorry. We apologize for it because today very less people are here. But then Prabhupada said, no, that's fine. Today, actually, Narada Muni and Brahmadev were there in the discourse. They were sitting there. So he was able to see. So this already, I mean, if you have time, you can go through this material which I said. So the uh, point here is simply one can see the those having transcendental vision, ones who are transcendental or pure devotee, they will get the vision of seeing Narada Muni. It is said wherever any talking about Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Prema is there, where devotional service are acting in higher level, high degree, high elevation. Narada Muni is always there. Hare Krishna. Hope that's okay if Lakshmi Mataji is there today. All right. Okay, coming back to the next, we have seen about the Narayana Rishi, right? So Narayana Rishi. Okay, last week I actually mixed up a story. Last week I was talking about a story related to Krishna, meeting Mahavishnu, right? So actually I mixed up that, but actually the story is that I'd like to fix that goof of what I've done. So there was an incident, there was in Dwaraka. In Dwaraka, there was a Brahmana. So he he had a child, but what happened is once this child is born, the child dies. So then he goes to the king. So the king is actually Ugrasena. Ugrasena was ruling the Dwarka, and Krishna is there, Balram is there, everyone are there. So he goes and complains to the king that my child is died. So because why it is happening? Because the rulers are not good. Your ruling is not good. So you are disqualified. So this is what he goes and tells them. And again, that Brahmana gets a child, again the child dies. So like that, it kept on dying. Nearly the eight childs have already died. So he goes and says that. So that time, when after the Kurukshetra war and other thing, Krishna has gone back to Dwaraka, and along with him, Arjuna also goes there. So when Arjuna is there, again this happens, and this man comes and says, "See, now my wife is going to give birth to the ninth child. Now, if this child also dies, why are you king ruling in this kind of a impious kingdom?" So that time, Arjuna is feeling very bad. He said, why is that all the Kshatriyas he's blaming? This Brahmana is blaming everyone. He will go and comfort him, and he will say, "Okay, I will take care of the child and all." So, but the Brahmana will say, "See, even Krishna is there, Balaram is there. So they themselves could not, help in saving my child. So what is that you're going to do? How is that you're going to come and save this child?" So then Arjuna is very, he's very proud. He's a great archer. He's a beautiful, he has all the skills to protect his people. So he wants to show off that he's a real Kshatriya and he can, help this Brahmana from saving his child. So what he does is he says, "No, don't worry. I have see, I went and fought even Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva also felt very happy with that, and he gave me a very nice weapon called Pashupati, and I have the beautiful arrows with related to that. I can save you, protect the child." Then the Brahman, "And if I'm not going to protect, I will jump into the fire." That's what he says. So then Arjuna goes and goes and protects when the child is going to be born. He forms all the full protective system so that the Yamaraj and his team doesn't come there and take away the child. So what happens is that the child is born, and once the child is born, as usual, the child dies and the child is vanishes. Then Arjuna is asked, "See, you said you're going to protect, but still the same thing happened to my even the ninth child." So then Arjuna will get so upset. "Though, don't worry, I will take care." And then he rushes to Yamaloka. There he is trying to search for where this Brahmana's children. He couldn't find there. He goes to Indraloka to find where this child children are. There also he couldn't find. He goes to Brahmaloka. Everywhere he goes, he is not able to find. And finally he comes back and he says, "Unfortunately, I'm not able to find them. So I've promised you that I will kill myself." So he forms an yajna, he forms a fire, and he is about to jump. That time Krishna comes and stops him. He says, "Stop." And he will take him in his chariot, beyond this universe. He will pass through the seven layers of the world, and he is the one who takes to Mahavishnu. So actually Arjuna and Krishna goes to Mahavishnu. So there he goes, and then Mahavishnu is also waiting, and these people also place pranam to them. And then Mahavishnu says, yes, I wanted you both to come because you are the Nara Narayana Rishis. So I wanted to see you both together in the same form. Now you have taken the incarnation. Nara Narayana Rishi has taken an incarnation as Krishna and Arjuna in this material world. So I wanted to see that. So I welcome you. So the other story was I told that they went because of searching of the Sandipani's Muni's children. That was not actually to Mahavishnu. Actually, Balaram and Arjuna, because of the looking for the child, they actually go to Yamaloga. They go to Yamaloga, and from there they get that child. All right. So the next incarnation, what we saw is Lord Kapila's incarnation. He is the son of Devahuti, who spreaded the Sankhya philosophy. There. And then Dattatreya, the son of Atri and Anusya. So up to that we finished. So we've seen that Atri was said to be one of the Saptarishis. Prabhu, you can remove your screen.
Yeah.
Because I will share my thing. So he is actually said to be the son of. He is one of the Saptarishis, and Anusya is said to be a, a very high level chastity. You know. So some of the pastimes are there. One of them, which Prabhupada also mentions, that again here there was a Brahmana. He's called Kaushik, and actually he is a leprosy. But he wants he is a very much sense gratification person. But his wife is said to be a very high level chastised woman. So this leopard person, even at that condition, he wants to enjoy. So he asks his wife to take him to a prostitute or another thing. So her wife carries him on a basket and goes. So, but she is a very high chastity. So while going, this person touches one of the sages on the way. So, because he is a leper and other thing, though the sages get so much annoyed that you are so, dirty person, you touched me or something happened related to that person. So he says, he curses him. He says, tomorrow when the sun rises there, you will be dead. So his wife, what she does is, she is so chastity a lady. She makes the such that the sun will not rise. The sun doesn't rise next day. Because if the sun rises, her husband will die. So she will see that the sun doesn't rise. So what happens if the sun doesn't rise? So nothing, everything is in darkness. So everyone will go, even if the news went to all the Indras, Brahma, everyone. So all the Devatas also were so upset. What if the sun is not coming out? So they'll find out how can resolve this problem. So they will come and they know that Anusya is the person who can help to resolve this. So they'll all come to all the Vishnu, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. They will come to Anusya and then ask her that you have to make the situation all right. Then she goes and requests that person, no, you remove the the stopping of the sun from arising. um, we will try to see. So somehow she convinced him and convinced that lady, that Brahmana lady, her name is Sumanti. So she is convinced and she removes the thing and then the sunrise. So once the sunrise next day, her husband dies. But Anusya, because of her chastity, she brings back that person. So that level of chastity she has. So in fact, so this is Dattatreya is said to be the form of Vishnu. In fact, she had 3 children. Anusya, anyone knows?
Soma, Durvasmani,
Yeah,
and
and
Dattatreya.
Dattatreya. So that's why the Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. The Brahma is Soma, and Dattatreya is Vishnu, and Durvasa
Durvasmani.
Muni is
Yeah.
one the brother of Dattatreya. He is said to be incarnation of Lord Shiva. So that's the pastime related to that. Okay, let's see. The next one is related to Yajna. Mm, Just 1 second. Huh?
Vishnu, is it Dattatreya the incarnation of both Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwar?
No,
That's
Vishnu.
what.
Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, Soma, Dattatreya, and Durvas Muni.
Yeah.
But some places they show them as three-headed form.
Yeah.
Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva.
Mm.
I don't know why I'm not able to see this screen. Yeah. Okay. Anyone wants to read text number 12? Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Okay. Tata saptama akrutyam rucher yagno abhyajayata sayam jaye suraganir apad swayambhu vantaram.
Can you read the top title?
Yeah. Yagna, son of Prajapati Ruchi and Akuti, controlled the period of Swayambhu Manu and was assisted by demigods such as his son Yama.
Yeah. Yeah, continue. Translation.
The seventh incarnation was Yagna, the son of Prajapati Ruchi and his wife Akuti. He controlled the period during the reign of Swayambhu Manu and was assisted by demigods such as his son Yama. Yagna incarnation. The administrative post occupied by the demigods was for maintaining the regulations of the material world are offered to the highly elevated pious living beings. When there is a scarcity of such pious living beings, the Lord incarnate himself as Brahma, Prajapati, Indra, etc. and takes up the charge. During the period of Swayambhu Manu, the present period is the Vaivasvata Manu. There was no suitable living being who could occupy the post of Indra, the king of the Indraloka heaven planet. The Lord himself at the time became Indra, assisted by his own sons like Yama and other demigods. Lord Yagna ruled the administration of the universal affairs.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So Yajna here is the incarnation of the Lord who took the position of whose
Indra.
position did he take? Indra. So
Yeah.
during the period of Swayambhuva Manu. All right, let's go to the next. So next is King Rishabhadev, son of Nabi and Merudevi, showed the path of perfection, followed by those who are fully sense controlled and honored by all ashram. Anyone wants to read? Can you put up a hand if anyone wants to read, or else I will end up reading.
Okay, I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
King Rishabha, son of Navi and Merudevi, saw the path of perfection, followed by those who are fully sense-controlled and honored by all ashramas. Astame Merudevyam tu Nabhirjata Urukramaha Darsayan Vartamadhiranam Sarva Asrama Namaskritam. Translation: The eighth incarnation was King Rishabha, son of King Navi and his wife Meru Devi. In this incarnation, the Lord showed the path of the perfection, which is followed by those who have fully controlled their senses and who are honored by all the orders of life. Varnashrama system. The society of human beings is naturally divided into 8 by orders and status of life. the 4 divisions of occupation and 4 divisions of cultural advancement, the intelligent class, the administrative class, the productive class, and the laborer class are the 4 divisions of the occupation, and the student life, the householder life, retired life, and the renowned life are the 4 status of cultural advancement towards the path of spiritual realization. Out of this renounced order of life, or the order of sannyasa, is considered the highest of all, and a sannyasa is constitutionally the spiritual master for all the orders and divisions. In the sannyasa order also, there are 4 stages of upliftment towards perfection. These stages are called kuti ke
Tikaka.
Bahudaka, Paribrajacharya, Paramhamsa. The Paramhamsa stage of life is the highest stage of perfection. This order of life is respected by all others. Maharaja Rishabha, the son of King Navi and Meru Devi, was an incarnation of the Lord, and he instructed his sons to follow the path of perfection by tapasya, which sanctifies one's existence and enables one to attain the stage of spiritual happiness, which is eternal and ever increasing. Every living being is searching after happiness, but no one knows where eternal and unlimited happiness is obtainable. Foolish men seek after material sense pleasure as a substitute for real happiness, but such foolish men forget that temporary so called happiness derived from sense pleasure is also enjoyed by the dogs and hogs. No animal, birds, or beast is mm, bereft of this sense pleasure. In every species of life, including the human form of life, such happiness is immensely obtainable. The human form of life, however, is not meant for such cheap happiness. The human life is meant for attaining eternal and unlimited happiness by spiritual realization. This spiritual realization is obtained by tapasya or undergoing voluntarily the path of penance and abstinence from material pleasure. Those who have been trained for abstinence in material pleasure are called dhira or remain undisturbed by the sense. Only these dhiras can accept the order of sannyasa and they can gradually rise to the status of paramhamsa, which is adored by all the members of society. King Rishabha propagated this mission, and at the last stage, he became completely aloof from the material bodily need, which is a rare stage not to be imitated by foolish men, but to be worshipped by all.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So this picture
Hare
shows Rishabhadev and his children. How many children he had?
100.
100 children. So Bharat Maharaj is one of his first child, in fact. So we call it Bharat Varsha, so based on him. And he showed, he is said to be a person who's in the path of perfection, who showed the path of perfection, who attained the Paramahamsa stage. So you see here, he was a grahastha who had 100 children, and he was a king actually. And such a person was able to attain, the Paramahamsa stage, which is said to be the highest stage of perfection. And this purport also highlights the various Varnashram system. Prabhupada deals in details, what are the various Varna and Ashram in this. And this about the foolish men, comparing a foolish man, to an animal, a dog and hog. So this is the first step in self-realization. If you do take up Bhakti Vriksha course or anything, first lesson in that, So what's the difference between an animal and a human being? So how to use the human form of life? What is human form of life meant for? Not for cheap happiness. It is meant actually for attaining the self-realization, to understand who we are and our relationship with the Lord. So how eternally we can have unlimited happiness through self-realization, through spiritual realization. And such persons, once who are realized, they are called Dhiras, and such dhiras can accept the sannyasis. They can be unattached to things, and they gradually rise to the stage of Paramahamsa. That's highlighted in this verse. Okay, next verse, Prithumuni. Who wants to read Prithumuni? King Prithu, prayed for by the sages, cultivated the land to yield various products. Thus the earth became a beautiful and attractive. Rishibir yachito bije navamam parthivam vaphu dukte mam osadir vipras teneyam sa ustamata ustama. Translation: O Brahmanas, in the ninth incarnation, the Lord, prayed for by sages, accepted the body of King Prithu, who cultivated the land to yield various products, and for this reason the earth was very beautiful and attractive. Anyone knows this picture?
Yeah.
What is this picture?
It's I think it's Vena, right? And
Yeah,
the person is Prithu Maharaj, and these are all sages.
correct. They are all Brahmanas. Yeah,
No.
correct. What you said is correct. So there was a king called Vena. So actually, I think in the fourth canto, more detail is identified on this. So those who are interested can read the fourth canto, 15th to 23rd verse. Talks about the pastimes of Prithu Maharaj. So Prithu Maharaj, there was a king, as I said, King Vena. He became very pride person, and he himself felt that the entire demigods are with him, and he wanted all people to worship him. So he went to that level, and all the brahmanas felt that he is very pride and other things. So finally, through simple mantra, they killed this person because he is not right person to rule the kingdom. So once he died, what happened is his mother felt very bad for his son to be, killed by these brahmanas. So she protected his body, and she made arrangements such that his body doesn't get deteriorated, and she packed it up in such a way. So meanwhile, because the kingdom had no king, what happened was a lot of the criminals started, a lot of people doing all the burglaries, theft, and other things. So the Brahmanas felt, okay, because the kingdom has no king, we need to have some king. So what they did it, anyhow, we have to get the whoever is going to come after this king has to come from his family. So because his body is still available, so they took that body, and they started churning, the body, so that there is another there's a children coming out of it, whether it's coming. So this brahmanas had all the mantra, so they had a mantra, so they tried to churn the Venus bodies. Actually, they churn the Venus thigh and try to bring out, by performing some mantra and other things. And that time there was actually a very person who was like a dwarf was born. He was called Bahuka, and he was born. And when he came out, then he asked, "Who am I?" Like, then they said, "Oh, you sit down." So they called him Nishida. Nishida means sit down. So that's their race. There is a race called Nishida. But actually, because he came out, he was the first body coming out of such a bad person. So he actually ended up stealing, cheating, all kind of bad things he ended up doing. So then they felt he is not the right person to rule the kingdom. So they wanted to bring another king from this body of King Veena. So they churned the two arms of them, two arms. So when they churned him, that time Veena comes out from one of the arms. So actually, a male and a female comes out from, or male from one arm and a female comes out from the other arm. The male is Veena, and I mean Prithu Maharaj, and he is actually said to be incarnation of the Lord. Uh, Yeah, anyone wants to read? Ritu Mataji, you want to read the purport? Welcome back.
Hare Krishna. King Prithu. Before the advent of King Prithu, there was great havoc of maladministration due to the vicious life of the previous king, the father of Maharaja Prithu. The intelligent class of men, namely the sages and the Brahmanas, not only prayed for the Lord to come down but also dethroned the previous king. It is a duty of king to be pious and thus look after all around welfare of citizens. Whenever there is some negligence on the part of king in discharging his duty, the intelligent class of men must dethrone him. The intelligent class of the men, however, do not occupy the royal throne because they have much more important duties for the welfare of the public. Instead of occupying the royal throne, they prayed for the incarnation of Lord, and the Lord came as Maharaja Prithu. Real intelligent men or qualified Brahmanas never aspired for political posts. Maharaja Prithu excavated many produces from the earth, and thus not only did the citizens become happy to have such a good king, but the complete site of the earth also became beautiful and attractive.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Okay, probably anyone can tell Prithu Maharaj what devotional service he is known for. Vinay Prabhu, I know you may know it. Just hold on.
Can I say, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Maybe? Yeah, I think I read it. It's just that he was doing the Ashmedha Yajnas, and at the last 100, and the Lord Indra became very angry, and
Yeah,
he stole his Ashmedha, the horse, few times, and then I think it's a long story,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
that's
one
it.
pastime. Lord Vishnu himself comes and, because Indra was trying to stop. Why he was trying to stop it?
Because then he can take his post
Yeah,
as
because he,
Indra.
the 99th, 100th
Yeah.
Ashwatthaya Yajna was stopped. Yeah, but that was not the question what I asked. So one of the devotional service, no, one of the, I mean, what you said is also correct, but he is mostly known for, he is exemplary in one of the 9 devotional services what we talk. And he's talked about the example of that.
Because he forgave Lord Indra.
No, 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 no.
But,
No, we know the 9 devotional service, right?
Archanam.
yeah.
Shravanam, Kirtanam,
Yeah.
yes. So Prithu Maharaj is for Archanam.
Archana. Okay.
All right, let's read the next one. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone who wants to read? Param Prabhu, can you read this one? Text
Yes,
15.
Prabhuji. Rupam sajagrahe
Can you
matsyam.
read the title and then read?
Yes,
Matsya.
Prabhuji. Matsya, during inundation after Chakshusha Manu, he protected Vaivashvat Manu, keeping him up on a boat. Rupam sajagrahe matsyam chakshusho dadi samplave navyaropya mahimayam apad Vaivashvatam Manum. When there was a complete inundation after the period of the Chakshusha Manu, and the whole world was deep within water, the Lord accepted the form of a fish and protected Vevashvat Manu, keeping him up on a boat. Difference in opinion among acharyas. According to Sripad Sridhar Swami, the original commentator on the Bhagavatam, there is not always a devastation after the change of every Manu. And yet this inundation after the period of Chakshush Manu took place in order to show some wonders to Satyavrata. But Sri Jiva Goswami has given definite proofs from authoritative scriptures like Vishnu Dharmottara, Markandeya Purana, Hari Vamsha, etc. that there is always a devastation after the end of each and every Manu. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti has also supported Srila Jiva Goswami, and he, Sri Chakravarti, has also quoted from Bhagavatamrita about this inundation after each Manu. Prabhuji, I can't see after.
Okay. 1 second, I'm scrolling. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the last sentence. Can you read it?
Apart from this, the Lord, in order to show some special favor to Satyavrata, a devotee of the Lord, in this particular period, incarnated himself.
Yeah. So Matsya avatar, it talks about next avatar. It is mentions here. So Satyavarta Muni, who was in the Sakshusva Manu period, and then he is to take up as the next Manu. So all these people, so he takes up as the Vaivastava Manu. So he is the seventh Manu, current Manu. In the previous Yuga, he was said to be the Satyavarta Muni. So this is the picture depicting that. Okay, so our next incarnation is the Kurma avatar. Kurma. His shell served as the pivot. Yes, Prabhu. Saubhagya Prabhu, you have a question.
Hare Krishna. Kurma, his shell served as a pivot for Mandara hill that was being used as churning rod by the Asuras and Asuras. Text 16. Sura Asura Nam Udadein Matanotam Mandara Achalam Dathre Kamata Rupena Prita Eka Dase Vibhuhu. Translation. The 11th incarnation of the Lord took the form of a tortoise. Whole shell served as a pivot for the Mandarachala hill, which was being used as churning rod by the theists and atheists of the universe. Purport. Once both the atheists and the theists were engaged in producing nectar from the sea so that all of them could become deathless by drinking it. At that time, the Mandarachala hill was used as the churning rod, and the shell of the Lord Tortoise, the incarnation of Godhead, became the resting place pivot of the hill in the sea water.
So this is on a picture depicting that. So I think all of us know about this Leela, right? Pastime
Yes.
of Samudra Manthan. Right. So to bring out the nectar of the ocean. Anyone remembers what all came out of the ocean? Just
Yeah. Haldar.
yeah,
Poison.
halahala.
Yeah.
Poison, yes. Neelakantan. No, Lord Shiva is asked to take it. That's how he gets the name Neelakantan.
Amrit also.
Amrita.
Lakshmi also
Amrita.
came.
Basically, it's for the Amrita. Yes, Mahalakshmi also comes from there. Who else?
Parijatak plant.
Parijata flower. Very good.
Airavat, I think. Airavat.
Airavat. Yes. What is Airavat? Who is Airavat?
It's an elephant.
White
Elephant. Yeah,
Indra
white
and
elephant.
elephant.
It was given to Indra. Yeah, that's how Indra got that Airavat. It's not Indra's elephant. Indra got that elephant after this incident. Yes. Okay. What else?
Uraicha. I think there's a flying horse, right?
Yes,
For the
700 hours.
Yes.
Ucharai Sharva.
Ucharai
Ucharai
Sharva.
Sharva. Yes, the white horse.
Uchimshrava.
Ucharai Sharva. Yeah.
Kamadhenu as well, right?
Kamadhenu.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Surabhi.
So,
Mm.
and
Dhanvantari also.
Dhanvantri. Yes, very important. Dhanvantri. He's going to come next.
And I think a lot of Apsaras as
Kalpavriksha also there. Apsaras, Ramba and all comes out
Ramba
from there.
Apsaras.
Varuni also comes out from there.
Yeah.
The goddess of, Sura, goddess of wine. Kalpaviksha, and finally it's the Amritam. So that's what they were looking for, and they ended up fighting. Yes.
Can I read this, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. This
The
is
top
Dhanvantri. Yeah, Dhanvantri.
Dhanvantri brought the nectar pot in the churning of milk ocean as Mohini Murti, elude the atheists and gave nectar to the demigods.
Yeah, you have two incarnations in this verse. Yeah.
Very good. Dhanvantaram dvada shamam trayodashamam evacha apayayat suran anyan mohinya mohayan striya. In the 12th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Dhanvantri, and in the 13th, he eluded the atheists by the charming beauty of a woman and gave nectar to the demigods to drink.
Okay. So on the picture on the left, we can easily say that's Lord Dhanvantri coming with the nectar in his hand. And someone can help tell the story on the right?
It is about Rahu and Ketu.
Yeah. What happened there?
When the demon side, one of them, he drank the nectar. Then Lord Krishna, he saw it, and then he cut off his head with this Sudarshan Chakra.
Yeah, they disguised as demigods. And
yeah.
And since the head, already the nectar had gone, and so it was live. It is still live. It is said like that now. Somewhat like that. Not exactly.
So what he becomes is?
Mohini.
This is Rahu.
Yeah, he becomes Ragu. So who is these two persons?
Chandra and Vyavaswan.
Surya, yeah.
Surya.
That's why they call the eclipse, he comes, Ragu comes and catches this Chandra and Surya. Surya eclipse and solar eclipse
comes from the Samudra Madan, right, Prabhuji?
No.
Kshirosagar Madan. That's
What is
when
Moon will not come.
Kshirosagar Madan.
They are all demigods already. They were fighting
Yeah,
for.
moon is also
but
come.
I heard.
No. Yeah, what you said is correct. Actually, moon is also there. Chandra also comes. The crescent moon also comes from the Samudra Mandir Leela. And Lord Shiva, if you see on his head, the crescent moon they keep.
Yes,
But as one of the questions, if you remember again previously, someone asked this, I think Vinay Prabhu only said whether the Leela every time happens, In this Leela, when Samudra Mandan, moon tries to comes from Samudra Mandan, but there are actually, it's said that it comes from Lord himself, it's the Manas of the Lord, Chandrama Manasa. Right, so Chandrama Manasa in some pastimes, he comes from the moon comes from the Lord himself.
And also, I heard Prabhu from the Rahu, right? Because he had that nectar, through the blood form, it has fallen onto the earth, and from there, this onion and garlic vegetables have fallen, and that's
No,
why.
Masoor dal. It is said about Masoor dal that Masoor dal, since it's red color, the blood which fell down from that, the Masoor dal has grown, so that's why it is red in color.
Yeah,
This
even
is what
onion
I heard
and garlic,
about
Masoor dal also. So onion and garlic, that is why it has lot of medicinal values. If you see, garlic has so much medicinal value because of that. But it is coming under the mode of, passion and ignorance. Yeah. Not a sattvic. That's why we don't eat. And not only that, it is coming from the mouth of a demon. That's more important. It's coming from a mouth of a demon. That's why we don't take it.
Yeah, and also it smells bad because of that reason. Onion and garlic. Yeah.
Prabhu,
So this
onion and
Rahu
garlic
and
I
Ketu are
heard,
the
but Masoor
demons.
dal. Sorry.
I thought mentioned
Masoor dal also I've heard.
I have not heard, Prabhu, but we do eat, right? I mean, Masoor dal generally.
No, we do not eat Masoor dal. No,
Masoor dal on Ekadashi day we don't eat.
Ekadashi? Yeah, Ekadashi we don't.
No, Masoor dal we don't eat at all. The red salt,
we don't eat.
it looks like tur dal, but we don't eat Masoor dal.
Yeah.
That is the red one.
Yeah, red one we don't eat.
Okay, I don't know whether. Yeah,
In
I'm not
Ekadashi, we don't eat any of the grains, but Masoor dal we don't eat at all, and Urad dal we do not eat during Chaturmas, the last Kartik month.
Yeah.
At the end of Chaturmas, last month.
Any reason as to why we don't eat during Chaturmas only?
As per scriptures, we should not consume, like the 4 months, the first month, we do not consume green leafy vegetables because there are more insects or what we call during that period. Yeah. And second month, the curd, yogurt, we do not consume. There's also some scientific reason also behind that. I don't know exactly, but we don't consume curd during that month. And third month, milk. And fourth month, urad dal. Urad dal maybe because it, what do we call it? It gives more proteins or something like that.
Yeah,
I
it
don't know the
doesn't
exact
help.
reason. Yes.
It may not help
Somewhat.
much in devotional service during that time, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Something is related.
Param Prabhu, you want to add something?
Thank you. Thank you,
I
Mataji.
think I heard from someone for the green leafy vegetables we don't eat because in India at that time there's insects, but not in Australia.
Yeah, everything. That Chaturmasi is based on India only. Because that's the monsoon time. That is the monsoon time,
Yeah.
so they don't travel. During the monsoon time, all the insects and others, they will be everywhere out there. So because we are in another region, but still we follow it. During that time, we cannot have a different Chaturmas for us.
So Prabhuji, this Rahu and Ketu both are the demons, yeah?
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the next one. Who wants to read the next one? Kangana Mataji?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Narsimadev. Because you did Narsimha prayer today.
Okay. So Narsimha bifurcated the strong body of Hiranyakasipu with his nails, just as the carpenter pierces cane. Text 18. Chaturdasam Narsimham Bivrat Daitendram Urijatam Dadara Karjer Urava Irakam Katakradiyatha. In the 14th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Narsimha and bifurcated the strong body of the atheist Hiranyakasipu with his nails, just as the carpenter pierces cane.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so many pastimes I think you can tell.
Form of a dwarf Brahmana. Vamana. Although willing to regain 3 planetary systems, he asks for a donation of 3 steps of land from King Bali. Text 19. Panchadasam Vamanakam Kritva Agad Advaram Valeha Padatrayam Yachmana Prataya Adisus Tripistapama. Translation. In the 15th incarnation, the Lord assumed the form of a dwarf Brahmana, and visited the arena of sacrifice arranged by Maharaja Bali. Although at heart he was willing to regain the kingdom of the 3 planetary system, he simply asked for a donation of 3 steps of land. Vamana Avatara. The Almighty God can bestow upon anyone the kingdom of the universe from a very small beginning, and similarly, He can take away the kingdom of the universe on the plea of begging a small piece of land.
Hare Krishna. So, what name did he get?
Vamana Avatar.
Vamana Avatar.
Yeah, Vamana Avatar. What is the other name of him based on this pastime?
Dwarf, no?
Dwarf, yeah. Vamana
Dwarf.
means dwarf.
Trivikraman.
Trivikrama.
Trivikrama.
Yeah.
In fact, this Trivikrama form of the Lord or Vamana Avatar is said to be the presiding deity of the heavens, of the heavenly planet. Indra is actually his own brother is Vamana, right? So actually Vamana is born to
Aditi and Kashyap Muni.
Kashyapa Muni. Yes, Aditi and Kashyapa Muni. To get back the kingdom from Bali. So that's why Indra presiding, he keeps him as the presiding deity. He got back the heavenly planets again because of Vamanadev. Okay, who wants to read the next one? Bhrihupati. is said to be
I can
Parashuram.
read, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Bhrigupati, Parshuram, annihilated Kshatriyas 21 times, being angry with them because of their rebellion against the Brahmanas. Avtare Sodashame Pashyan Brahma Druho Nripan Trisapta Kritva Kupito Nihash Shatram Akaran Mahim. Translation. In the 16th incarnation of the Godhead, the Lord, as Bhrigupati, annihilated the administrative class Kshatriyas 21 times, being angry with them because of their rebellion against the Brahmanas, the intelligent class. Purpose of Parshuram Avatar. The Kshatriyas, or the administrative class of men, are expected to rule the planet by the direction of the intelligent class of men who give direction to the rulers in terms of the standard Shastras, or the books of revealed knowledge. The rulers carry on the administration according to that direction. Whenever there is disobedience on the part of the Kshatriyas, or the administrative class, against the orders of the learned and intelligent Brahmanas, the administrators are removed by force from the post, and arrangement is made for better administration.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
You
Krishna.
want to continue one more?
Yeah. Vyasdev, son of Satyavati and Parashar, divided the one Veda into branches, seeing that the people in general were less intelligent. Tata saptadeshe jata satyavatyam parasarat chakre veda taro sakha drishtva pumso alpamedha sa. Translation. Thereafter, in the 17th incarnation of Godhead, Sri Vyasadeva appeared in the womb of Satyavati through Parashar Muni, and he divided the one Veda into several branches and sub-branches, seeing that the people in general were less intelligent. Vyasadeva divided one Veda into 4. Originally, the Veda is one, but Srila Vyasadeva divided the original Veda into 4, namely Sama, Yajur, Rig, Atharva, and then again they were explained in different branches like the Puranas and the Mahabharata. Vedic language and the subject matter are very difficult for ordinary men. They are understood by the highly intelligent and self-realized Brahmanas. But the present age of Kali is full of ignorant men. Even those who are born by a Brahmana father are, in the present age, no better than the Shudra or the women. The twice born men, namely the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, are expected to undergo a cultural purificatory process known as samskaras. But because of the bad influence of the present age, the so-called members of the Brahmana and other high-order families are no longer highly cultured. They are called the Dvija Bandhus, or the friends and family members of the twice born. But these Dvija Bandhus are classified amongst the Shudras and the women. Srila Vyasadeva divided the Vedas into various branches and sub-branches for the sake of the less intelligent classes like the Dvija Bandhus, Shudras, and women.
Okay. Thank you. I think we will read more of about Vyasadeva in the coming chapters. Okay, Neha Mataji.
Prabhuji, before we proceed, is it okay to ask a quick question? It's not a question, actually, clarification. With Parashurama, right, once after he's done with all, eliminating all the bad Kshatriyas and all, he throws his axe into the sea, right? And that's where the land comes up, which is now Kerala. Is that right?
Anyone can assist me in this?
I think he used to dig a lake, right? That is called in the near the Kurukshetra area. Is that right,
Yeah.
Prabhu?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Kerala and Parshuram, not much connection. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bali
Yeah.
Maharaj, I understand.
Yeah. Bali Maharaj, yes, definitely. But this is what I heard. Like, that's the reason
I
why
am
they
not sure
call
about
it
that.
Kerala as God's own
Yeah, you put
country.
the question. We can do some research on it. Get back to you.
Sure.
What I
Next
heard
one.
was with the
Anyone else in the group who are able to tell? Yeah, Prabhu, please go ahead.
what I heard was because he killed that many any army and enemies, Kshatriyas, the blood was flowing so much, so he used his I don't know what is the weapon name, and
Axe.
axe, yeah, and then he digs a lake,
Farsa.
right? Yeah, and he digs the big lake, and then through that the water flows. And that area is also near Kurukshetra,
Maybe.
and they think that that is very auspicious. Then all the um, Yadu's family and Pandava's Kuru family, Krishna, everybody comes there and they assemble.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
read the
sure.
story in
Yeah.
the Krishna book, Prabhu. This
Okay.
one, I read that in the Krishna book.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I have one more story behind that. I read it when Parshuram was going to on Kailash to meet Lord Shiva, but it was stopped by Ganesha and along with Ganas, and
Yeah.
he threw the Parshu on Ganesha, and his trunk was broken,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one
yeah,
is there as well. Yeah.
and then he gave to him after
yeah.
that.
Even in the children, kids' tales, also this is
Yeah.
depicted in the story. Yeah, very nice. Yeah,
Mm.
and also when you said about Krishna book, even the first story which I told, it is there in the Krishna book when the Brahmanas whose child was taken by Mahavishnu.
Mm.
That story is there. Is the 89th chapter of Krishna books. Prabhupada beautifully depicts it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
Neha
all.
Mataji. Yeah. Yeah.
Hare
So we
Krishna,
you
Prabhuji.
put the question, Mataji. I'll also like to know about it more.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Will do.
Yes, Mataji. Neha Mataji, please go
Hare
ahead.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
King Ram showed superhuman powers by controlling the Indian Ocean and then by killing Ravan. Text number 22. Naradevattvamapanna surkarya chikirshaya samudra nigrahadini chakre vinyataha parama. Translation. In the 18th incarnation, the Lord appeared as King Ram in order to perform some pleasing work for the demigods. He exhibited superhuman powers by controlling the Indian Ocean and then killing the atheist King Ravan, who was on the other side of the sea. Hare Krishna. Lord Ram's avatar. The personality of Godhead Sri Ram assumed the form of a human being and appeared on the earth for the purpose of doing some pleasing work for the demigods, or the administrative personality is to maintain the order of the universe. Sometimes great demons and atheists like Ravan and Hiranyakashipu and many other become very famous due to advancing material civilization by the help of material science and other activities with the spirit of challenging the established order of the Lord. For example, the attempt to fly to other planets by material means is a challenge to the established order. The conditions of each and every planet are different, and different classes of human beings are accommodated, there for particular purposes mentioned in the codes of the Lord, but puffed up by tiny success in material advancement. Sometimes the godless materialists challenge the existence of God. Ravan was one of them, and he wanted to deport ordinary man to the planet of Indra, heaven, by material means without consideration of the necessary qualifications. He wanted a staircase to be built up directly reaching the heavenly planet so that people might not be required to undergo the routine of pious work necessary to enter that planet. He also wanted to perform other acts against the established rule of the Lord. He even challenged the authority of Sri Ram, the personality of Godhead, and kidnapped his wife Sita. Of course, Lord Ram had come to chastise some atheists, answering the prayer and desire of the demigods. He therefore took up the challenge of Ravan, and the complete activity is the subject matter of the Ramayana. Because Lord Ramchandra was the personality of Godhead, he exhibited superhuman activities which no human being, including the materially advanced Ravan,
could perform. Lord Ramchandra prepared a royal road on the Indian Ocean with stones that floated on the water. The modern scientists have done research in the area of weightlessness, but it is not possible to bring in weightlessness anywhere and everywhere. But because weightlessness is the creation of the Lord by which He can make the gigantic planets fly and float in the air, He made the stones even within this earth to be weightless and prepared a stone bridge on the sea without any supporting pillars. That is the display of the power of God. Hare Krishna.
Haribo. Ramachandra Mahaprabhu ki.
Jai.
Jai. Anyone been to Rameshwaram? There, I think this kind of a stones are there,
Yes.
the floating stones.
I didn't see Prabhuji. Or maybe I might have forgotten.
I have
Okay.
been there.
Saubhagya
It's
Prabhu, you
been
said
10
you went.
years now.
Okay. Who has
I
seen?
have
Anyone seen?
I have been there.
Yeah. Have you seen the
I,
floating stone?
yeah, I have seen the
Yeah.
floating stone. I have seen the bells all around the Rameshwaram
Yeah.
temple, and also there is one famous Anjaneya temple which
Yeah.
has a real prediction picture of the Anjaneya.
I'm planning to go this time in Kartik month, and not in Kartik month. Yeah. All right. Actually, on YouTube also you can see that, Mataji. I've seen Ranjita Mataji. You said you have not seen.
Yes. No, I've seen, but I don't remember
You don't
seeing the
remember.
floating stones. Yeah. I had
Okay.
been to Rameshwaram, but I don't remember seeing the floating stones. I remember the
I think they
wells.
kept it
There
as
were
an
many.
exhibition separately, not in the wells. I think separate
Okay.
exhibition. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll definitely check it again once.
Yeah.
Well, you can also touch and feel if you go there. They will allow you to touch and feel the stone.
Good.
Okay, sir.
Haribol. Yeah. Prabhu, Bhupesh Prabhu, you're getting the best. Can you read Balaram and Krishna?
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, I can. Balram and Krishna eradicated the burden of the world. Text 23. एकोनविंशे विंशति में वृष्णिषु प्राप्य जन्मनि रामकृष्णा इति भुवो भगवान् अहरद् भरम्. Translation. In the 19th and 20th incarnations, the Lord advented himself as Lord Balram and Lord Krishna in the family of Vrishni, the Yadu dynasty, and by so doing, he removed the burden of the world. Lord Krishna and Balram Bhagwan. The specific mention of the word Bhagwan in this text indicates that Balram and Krishna are the original forms of the Lord. This will be further explained later. Lord Krishna is not an incarnation of Purusha. As we learned from the beginning of this chapter, he is directly the original personality of the Godhead, and Balram is the first plenary manifestation of the Lord. From Baldeva, the first phalanx of the plenary expansions, Vasudev, Shankarshan, Anirudh, and Pradyumnan expands. Lord Krishna is Vasudeva and Baldeva is Shankarshana.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, probably your question last week would be answered here. All right. Param Prabhu, you want to read this? Buddha.
Yes, I'll read Prabhuji. ततः कलो सम्प्रवृत्ते सम्मोहाय सुराद्विषां बुद्धो नाम्ना अंजनासुता कीकतेषु भविष्यति. Oh, sorry, I didn't read the top part, Prabhuji. The title. Buddha, for deluding those who are envious of faithful theists. Envious, yes. Then, in the beginning of Kali Yuga, the Lord will appear as Lord Buddha, the son of Anjana, in the province of Gaya, just for the purpose of deluding those who are envious of the faithful theist. Lord Buddha's appearance and preaching. Lord Buddha, a powerful incarnation of the personality of Godhead, appeared in the province of Gaya, Bihar, as the son of Anjana, and he preached his own conception of non-violence and deprecated even the animal sacrifices sanctioned in the Vedas. At the time when Lord Buddha appeared, the people in general were atheistic and preferred animal flesh to anything else. On the plea of Vedic sacrifice, every place was practically turned into a slaughterhouse, and animal killing was indulged in unrestrictedly. Lord Buddha preached non-violence, taking pity on the poor animals. He preached that he did not believe in the tenets of the Vedas and stressed the adverse psychological effects incurred by animal killing. Characteristics of people in the age of Kali. Less intelligent men of the age of Kali who had no faith in God followed his principle, and for the time being they were trained in moral discipline and non-violence, the preliminary steps for proceeding further on the path of God realization. He deluded the atheists because such atheists who followed his principles did not believe in God, but they kept their absolute faith in Lord Buddha, who himself was the incarnation of God. Thus, the faithless people were made to believe in God in the form of Lord Buddha. That was the mercy of Lord Buddha. He made the faithless faithful to him. Purpose of Buddha incarnation. Killing of animals before the advent of Lord Buddha was the most prominent feature of the society. People claimed that these were Vedic sacrifices. When the Vedas are not accepted through the authoritative disciplic succession, the casual readers of the Vedas are misled by the flowery language of that system of knowledge. In the Bhagavad Gita, a comment has been made on such foolish scholars. Avipashchita. The foolish scholars of Vedic literature who do not care to receive the transcendental message through the transcendental realized sources of disciplic succession are sure to be bewildered. To them, the ritualistic ceremonies are considered to be all in all. They have no depth of knowledge. According to the Bhagavad Gita, Vedescha sarver ahamev vedyo. The whole system of the Vedas is to lead one gradually to the path of the Supreme Lord. The whole theme of Vedic literature is to know the Supreme Lord, the individual soul, the cosmic situation, and the relation between all these items. When the relation is known, the relative function begins, and as a result of such a function, the ultimate goal of life, or going back to Godhead, takes place in the easiest manner. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, unauthorized scholars of the Vedas become captivated by the purificatory ceremonies only, and natural progress is thereby checked. To such bewildered persons of atheistic propensity, Lord Brahma is the emblem of theism. He therefore first of all wanted to check the habit of animal killing. The animal killers are dangerous elements on the path going back to Godhead. There are two types of animal killers. The soul is also sometimes called the animal or the living being. Therefore, both the slaughterers of animals and those who have lost their identity of soul are animal killers. Maharaj Parikshit said that only the animal killer cannot relish the transcendental message of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, if people are to be educated to the path of Godhead, they must be taught first and foremost to stop the process of animal killing as above mentioned. It is nonsensical to say that animal killing has nothing to do with spiritual realization. By this dangerous theory, many so-called sannyasis have sprung up in the grace of Kali Yuga who preach animal killing under the garb of the Vedas. The subject matter has already been discussed in the conversation between Lord Chaitanya and Maulana Chand Kazi Sahib. The animal sacrifice, as stated in the Vedas, is different from the unrestricted animal killing in the slaughterhouse. Because the Asuras or the so-called scholars of Vedic literatures put forward the evidence of animal killing in the Vedas, Lord Buddha superficially denied the authority of the Vedas. This rejection of the Vedas by Lord Buddha was adopted in order to save people from the vice of animal killing, as well as to save the poor animals from the slaughtering process of their big brothers who clamor for universal brotherhood peace, justice, and equity. There is no justice when there is animal killing. Lord Buddha wanted to stop it completely, and therefore his cult of ahimsa was propagated not only in India but also outside the country. Why Lord Buddha's philosophy is atheistic? Technically, Lord Buddha's philosophy is called atheistic because there is no acceptance of the Supreme Lord and because that system of philosophy denied the authority of the Vedas. But that is an act of camouflage by the Lord. Lord Buddha is the incarnation of Godhead. As such, he is the original propounder of Vedic knowledge. He therefore cannot reject Vedic philosophy. But he rejected it outwardly because the Shuradvisha, or the demons who are always envious of the devotees of Godhead, try to support cow killing or animal killing from the pages of the Vedas. And this is now being done by the modernized sannyasis. Lord Buddha had to reject the authority of the Vedas altogether. This is simply technical, and had it not been so, he would not have been so accepted as the incarnation of Godhead, nor would he have been worshipped in the transcendental songs of the poet Jayadeva, who was a Vaishnava Acharya. Lord Buddha preached the preliminary principles of the Vedas in a manner suitable for the time, and so also did Shankaracharya to establish the authority of the Vedas. Therefore, both Lord Buddha and Acharya Shankara paved the path of theism, and Vaishnava Acharyas, specifically Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, led the people on the path toward a realization of going back to Godhead. We are glad that people are taking interest in the non-violent movement of Lord Buddha, but will they take the matter very seriously and close the animal slaughterhouses altogether? If not, there is no meaning to the ahimsa cult.
Prabhu, you want a break?
Lord Buddha predicted in Srimad.
Yeah,
I
you
can
continue.
continue,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
anyone
Please
else
go
wants
ahead.
to
Please,
add it.
just one more paragraph. No problem. Continue.
Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was composed just prior to the beginning of the age of Kali, about 5000 years ago, and Lord Buddha appeared about 2600 years ago. Therefore, in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Lord Buddha is foretold. Such is the authority of this clear scripture. There are many such prophecies, and they are being fulfilled one after another. They will indicate the positive standing of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is without any trace of mistake, illusion, cheating, and imperfection, which are the four flaws of all conditioned souls. The liberated souls are above these flaws, therefore they can see and foretell things which are to take place on distant future dates.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Quite a big purport Prabhupada has written, totally covering the points of, the appearance of Lord Buddha and Lord Shankaracharya, Srimad Shankaracharya. Yeah. And if you see one of the incarnations, out of the main Dasavatars, Gaudiya Vaishnava keep Lord Buddha as one of them, whereas in Sri Vaishnava, they don't treat Buddha as incarnation of the Lord. And also here, if you see, before Lord Buddha appeared in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the reference is there. That's what is highlighted in the last paragraph. Yes, bro. Param Prabhu.
What book do the Sri Vaishnavas read mostly or focus on?
No, again, they focus on Bhagavatam, they focus on Bhagavad Gita, and they have their own philosophy on the Vedanta Sutra. They call it as Sri Bhashyam. Sri
So if
Bhashyam.
they read Bhagavatam, why do they not believe in Buddha? Because it is stated here.
Yeah, that's right, what you said. But for them, even Krishna is not supreme originality. For them, Lord Narayan. Krishna, they replace Buddha by Krishna. Even though here also, that question no one asked, even though Balaram and Krishna is mentioned as, one of the incarnations here. The answer is coming for that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, your point is right.
Yes.
Yeah, for them, they replace Buddha with Krishna as one of the, in the Dasavatars I'm talking. Commonly Dasavatars, the 10 avatars, most common feature of the Lord. In that, they don't put Buddha as one of the main. They have Krishna as the main avatar. But he's actually Avadari. Krishna is Avadari. That is coming. 20th verse is going to talk about it. Hopefully, we'll try to cover that today. Yeah.
Prabhuji, I have one question.
Yeah.
So this Buddha is different than the Buddha who born in Nepal.
I don't know who's the Buddha born in Nepal. This Buddha
Siddhartha Gautam. So he's a different one.
is same Siddhartha, is it Nepal or Bihar? I don't think Nepal was there during that time.
See,
2005.
Buddhas also, there are 20 some
Yeah,
Buddha.
yeah. Different Buddhas.
It's not one Buddha.
Oh.
I think
But this
the
is
Buddha
Siddhartha.
from Gaya is the
Gaya is his
incarnation of the
name.
Lord.
He is also Siddhartha only earlier, and then he finally becomes Buddha, Gautama Buddha.
So, Prabhu, there is only one Buddha mainly who is worshipped by all the Buddhists.
Yeah, yeah. But there are different forms of saints called as Buddhas also. But I don't know much detail of that. Prashant Prabhu, you have more details? I've
Yes,
heard there are
in
many
Buddhas
Buddhas.
also there are many different subsectors. So there are totally more than 20 Buddhas. So one of them is Siddhartha Gautama Buddha.
So the Buddhist people, they worshipping Siddhartha Gautama, yeah, not as the incarnation, just the normal Buddha.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why they are saying that Buddha is not the incarnation of Krishna, because they worshipping.
For them, Buddha is what is a philosopher, guide. And, who's that follower of that Ahimsa, peace, tranquility, and Buddha's teaching are more or less like Nivaran. Nivaran, no, what is that? Void.
Nirvana.
Nirvana. Yes, void philosophy.
Prabhu, I had this question, Prabhu. Why? I mean, these days there are many people who are following Buddhism, even in Hindus also. So why don't they consider Buddha as the incarnation of Lord Krishna? I mean, they're not even taught about this thing. I mean, someone who is very close to me, she is also following the Buddhism, but like when I told her all these things, she is like, no, Buddha is different, and she is not getting into the Krishna
Because
consciousness.
they have their own what to say doctrine.
Yes, they have their own doctrine.
Doctrine. So they follow that, and mostly on ahimsa, non-violence philosophy. And as I said, in fact, that's what if you see
Non-violence, but they eat full of
Prabhupada
meat
Pranam
balls.
Mantra. Prabhupada Pranam Mantra, what it says?
Namo Vishnu Padaya.
Yeah, tell that. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi.
Yes.
So these are the Buddhists Shunyavadi. Those
Yes.
Shunyavads we have to clear. So it is our role to preach to them. Tell. So because they are all fixed with the doctrine. So in fact, before we come to Krishna conscious, before I came to Krishna conscious, also for me, everyone is equal, right? Lord Shiva, Muruga, I have different gods, all are game. Only after we come to Krishna conscious, we understand the philosophy, right? So like that, so that is our role. That's what Prabhupada's mission is. Prabhupada's mission is we have to preach to them that, if they have come to Buddhists, they can come one step forward to understand Vishnu. Because they are not a theist kind of a people. They feel someone, some powerful, and they follow someone. They kind to be submissive to someone.
Yeah, in countries like Thailand, they are also mainly Buddhist country, but they also have some alignment to Lord Vishnu. Because if we go to the airport, also we can see the churning of the ocean. All those things are there. So there are some references to the Lord Vishnu and all those things. But
Yeah, even up to Indonesia, if you go, Ramayana there.
It's a Garud is their national bird, I think.
So Hinduism is spread throughout the world, but once Buddhism came, that again spread. So different history are there. If you go through the history, we can see how these different things spread. So Buddha, as we read here, to basically stop, slaughterhouses, stop killing of animals.
Yes,
So that's how
yes.
it came. And Shankaracharya, who's none other than incarnation Lord Shiva himself, who comes to, overtake. So he did limitedly within the continent. So he did not have time to go across to other areas like Thailand and, as you rightly said, other areas to stop Buddhism. Even China also, they're Buddhist, I think.
Yeah, they are Buddhist country. Yes, yes.
And they are more
Yeah, and
atheistic.
I have heard
Mostly.
that Chinese people also saying that the Siddhartha Gautam is their Lord. So I mean, it means that they are worshipping the Siddhartha Gautam as Buddha. That's why they are saying that he is not the incarnation of Lord Buddha who born on Gaya. So that's why it's making differences, I think.
Yeah, he's the 28th, I think. That's why. See, I just sent a picture. These are the three sectors of the Vrajayana, Theravada, and Mahayana. These are the three major Buddhist, sects. And they do ahimsa, but they are eating full bowl of non-veg.
Yeah, I have seen that.
It's what they preach. They don't. I mean, they teach.
They're
They
not
don't
following.
preach.
No, but not everyone, I think. There are some set. I know there is a temple in Chatswood. They have, without onion garlic, they are vegan. And even the temple in
Yeah,
Wollongong, they
19.
are vegan.
Even 19. Yeah, 19
Vegan.
also it is.
No
Yeah.
onion garlic there. So
Yeah.
even though they don't offer the food to the Lord, for us, we take diet. But then if you want to have, we can have that. Their food is, totally vegetarian without onion garlic. There are different sects within Buddhist.
Some are following strictly, some are just casually.
Yeah.
Chinese are follow Buddhism only, but Chinese eat everything.
With Jainis, Prabhuji, Jain Sampradaya, they don't eat onion and garlic. Is this
They don't
something?
eat even a carrot,
They don't
potato.
even whatever grown under the soil.
Yeah,
Potato,
it's
everything.
ahimsa
And they
follow.
don't eat after the sunset.
Yes.
Lata Mataji, you have something to say?
Yeah, Prabhu, like we worship Krishna, so others worshipping other incarnation, will it lead to the same spiritual result?
No, each one have their own Vaikuntha planets, right? So
Okay.
whoever we go there.
Okay, each one of the incarnation has their own
No, in
planet.
this incarnation, if you see, many of them are Shakti Avesh avatars also. Like Vyasadeva is Shakti Avesh avatar. So his Shakti Avesha means it's an empowered incarnation.
Okay. And Prabhu, I could
Even
not get the 30.
Prithu is a Shakti Avesh avatar.
Right.
Yeah.
I could not get the 13th avatar, Prabhu. I think I missed out, or I could not. After Dhanvantri, I could not get the 13th avatar.
Yajna. After Dhanvantri, Mohini Murti.
Yeah. Mohini, okay.
All right. The last avatars. Let's see. Vinay Prabhu, you want to read Kalki avatar?
Kalki, at conjunction of the two yuga cycles, at this time the rulers of the earth will have degenerated into plunderers. Ata sav yuga sandhyayam dasyu prayesu rajasu. Janita Vishnu Yasaso Namna Kalki Jagatpati. Translation. Thereafter, at the conjunction of the two yugas, the Lord of the creation will take his birth as the Kalki incarnation and become the son of Vishnu Vyasa. At this time, almost all the rulers of the earth will have degenerated into plunderers.
So Bhagavatam gives the avatar which is going to come up. He'd be the son of Vishnu Yasa. Yes.
He is another foretelling of the advent of Lord Kalki, the incarnation of Godhead. He is to appear at the conjunction of the two yugas, namely at the end of Kali Yuga and the beginning of Satya Yuga. The cycle of the four yugas, namely Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali, rotates like the calendar months. The present Kali Yuga lasts 432,000 years, out of which we have passed only 5,000 years after the battle of Kurukshetra and end of the regime of King Parikshit. So there are 427,000 years balance yet to be finished. Therefore, at the end of this period, the incarnation of Kalki will take place as foretold in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The name of his father, Vishnu Vyasa, learned Ramana, and the village Shambhala are also mentioned. As above mentioned, all this foretelling will prove to be factual in the chronological order, that is the authority of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Innumerable
Hare Krishna. Yeah, that's the
Hare
next
Krishna.
verse.
Yeah, in innumerable incarnation, the Supreme Lord has innumerable incarnations like rivulets flowing from inexhaustible sources of water. Avatara he asankayaya hare sattva nige dvija yata vida sinha kulaya sarasa syuha sahasraha. Translation: O Brahmanas, the incarnation of the Lord are innumerable, like rivulets flowing from the inexhaustible sources of water. Innumerable incarnations. The list of incarnations or personality of the Godhead given herein is not complete. It is only a partial view of all the incarnations. There are many others, such as Sri Hayagriva, Harihamsa, Prishnigarbha, Vibhu, Satyasena, Vaikunta, Svarbhavama, Visvaksena, Dharmasetu, Sudama, Yogeshwara, Bradhubhanu, and others of the bygone ages. Incarnation in other species of life. Sri Prahlad Maharaj said in his prayers, My Lord, you manifest as many incarnations as there are species of life, namely the aquatics, the vegetable, the reptile, the bird, the beast, the man, the demigod, etc., just for the maintenance of the faithful and the annihilation of the unfaithful. You advent yourself in this way in accordance with the necessity of the different yugas.
Okay. So basically, around 22 incarnations is mentioned here. But it is said, there are so many unlimited incarnation of the Lord, innumerable. And the analogy given is that how the rivers flowing through to the inexhausted, to the ocean. Yeah. One second. Lata Mata, do you want to continue? Or Hema Mataji? Yeah, please go ahead, Mataji.
Yeah. Incarnation in the age of Kali. In the Kali Yuga, you have incarnated grabbed as a devotee. This incarnation of Lord in the Kali Yuga is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are many other places, both in Bhagavatam and in other scriptures, in which the incarnation of Lord as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explicitly mentioned. In Brahma Samhita also it is said indirectly that although there are many incarnations of Lord, such as Rama, Narasimha, Varaha, Matsya, Kurma, and many others, the Lord himself sometimes incarnates in person. Source of all incarnation. Lord Krishna and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are not therefore incarnation, but the original source of all incarnation. This will be clearly explained in the next sloka. Empowered incarnation. So the Lord in the inexhaustible source of innumerable incarnation, which are not always mentioned, but such incarnation are distinguished by specific extraordinary feats which are impossible to be performed by any living being. That is the general test to identify an incarnation of Lord, directly and indirectly empowered. Some incarnation mentioned above are almost planetary positions. For instance, the Kumaras are empowered with transcendental knowledge. Sri Narada is empowered with devotional service. Maharaja Prithvi is an empowered incarnation with executive function. The Matsya incarnation is directly a planetary position. So the innumerable incarnation of Lord are manifested all over the universe constantly without cessation as water flows constantly from the waterfall.
Hare Krishna, yeah. Who else wants to read the next verse? Ankit Prabhu, you want to read this verse? You there?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Text number 27. Vibhutis, powerful beings like the rishis, manus, demigods, descendants of Manu, and the Prajapatis are plenary portions or portions of plenary portions of the Lord. Rishio Manvo Deva Manuputra Mahajasta Kala Sarve Harireva Saprajapatay Samaritaha. All the rishis, Manus, demigods, and the descendants of Manu who are especially powerful are plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. This also includes the Prajapatis.
Yeah.
Vibhuti and Avesh incarnations. Those who are comparatively less powerful are called Vibhuti, and those who are comparatively more powerful are called Avesh incarnations.
Yeah.
Twen-
We'll stop here in 1 second. Yeah. Briefly, I will run. This is the incarnations. Broadly, if you see Swayam and Vilasa incarnation, Krishna. I'm not getting into more details of what is the Vaibhava Prakasha Tat Egatma, but I'm trying to say this incarnations where we are seeing this Manvantaravatas, Yugavatas, Shakti Aveshavatas, Gunavatas, Purushavatas, Leelavatas. So broadly under these 6 categories, this Amsas comes. So that's what they talk about parts and the plenary parts, right? So plenary portion or portion of plenary portion. So Guna avatars, if you say, we already seen this Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Shakti Avesh avatars comes under 4 Kumaras, Narada, Brahma, Parshuram. All of them comes under that. Then the Vibhuti. Now we talked about the Vibhuti and Avesha, right? There. So Vibhuti, if you see in the Bhagavad Gita 10th chapter, Krishna mentions, I think, that I am the Indra, I am the Agni, I am Bahaspati, I am Kartikeya, I am Bhrigu. So these are all the Vibhuti avatars. And Manvantaras are in each Manu period, he ascends as different persons like. And Yuga avatars are related to the color, Satya avatar, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapar Yuga. Different color he appears. Okay, this is a very important verse. We'll try to finish this verse for today. All of us can recite this verse because this is called the Paribhasha Sutra of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So Paribhasha Sutra means the one which is guiding, one who is governing for the entire document, entire book. So that's why this is the very governing verse of the entire Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, the source of all incarnations. So I think one of the questions Ankit Prabhu earlier asked, how is Krishna the supreme? So this is the Paribhasha Sutra which mentions that Krishna is the source of everything. So let's all recite together. Ete cha amsa kala pumsha
Ete chamsha kalapamsa
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Indrari Vaikulam Lokam
Indrari Vyakulam Lokam
Mridyanti Yuge Yuge.
Mridyanti Yuge Yuge.
All the above mentioned incarnations are either the plenary portions or portions of the plenary portion of the Lord. But Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheist. The Lord incarnates to protect the atheist. So this is, as I said, this is said to be the Paribhasha Sutra. So Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. So that's the key term here, key phrase. Krishna is the Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Why do we call this as Paribhasha? Because here Krishna is referred to as Bhagavan. Maybe in the same book, if somewhere also there would be a Bhagavan. Even if you go through, we're going to read. So Narada also has been mentioned as Bhagavan. And there could be Lord Shiva also mentioned Bhagavan in this. So different, mentioned. But the key thing is Krishna only Bhagavan. So the reference, this is the guiding principle. So why it is mentioned Bhagavan there if you question. So for this entire thing we have to understand Krishna is the Bhagavan. So instead of if there's comes some conflict, whether Krishna is Bhagavan or Narada is Bhagavan, the term is used there also. But Krishna is the Bhagavan Swayam. So that's the rule here. That's why this is called Paribhaksha Sutra. So Lord Krishna is the source of all incarnation. In this particular stance, Lord Krishna, the personality Godhead, is distinguished from other incarnation. He is counted among the avadas incarnation because out of his causeless mercy, the Lord descends from his transcendental abode. We have a question why he is shown as incarnation, but he is because of his causeless mercy, he comes to for us and he descends down and does the pastimes. In fact, it is said out of the day of Brahma, only in the 28th cycle, of this Lord appears in his original form. Meanwhile, of the avatars means one who descends. All the incarnation of Lord, including the Lord himself, descends on a different planets of material world, as also in different species of life to fulfill particular mission. Sometimes he comes himself, and sometimes his different planetary portion or parts of the planetary portion, or his differentiated portion, directly or indirectly empowered by him, descend on this material world to execute certain specific function. So purpose of Lord's incarnation, they appear, when there is a disturbance created. So we seen these verses in the Bhagavad Gita, right? 4th chapter. Opulences manifested based on function. Originally, the Lord is full of all opulences, all power. These are the 6 opulences mentions of a Bhagavan. Is all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, all renunciation. When they are partly manifested through the planetary portion or parts of planetary portion, it should be more noted that certain manifestation of his different powers are required for those particular functions. So he manifests what that functions requires. Analogy. When in the room small electric bulb are displayed, it does not mean the electric powerhouse is limited to the small bulb. The same powerhouse can supply different power to operate large-scale industrial dynamo with greater volts. So this is analogy given. Sometimes we can think why different avatars has not shown their full potential, right? Can we think of any example?
Lord Ram.
Yeah, Lord Ram, Narsingadev, every example we can tell. But Krishna is the one who showed all his leelas, all his potential. And that's why the analogy is given here. So it doesn't mean that, the powerhouse which is supply only will give for the light. It can do it for everything. Similarly, the incarnation of Lord displays limited power because so much power is needed for that particular time. Display of various opulences in various avadas. For example, Prabhupada himself gives here Lord Parashuram and Lord Narasimha displayed unusual opulences by killing the disobedient Kshatriyas 21 times and killing the greatly powerful atheist Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful that even the demigods in the other planets will tremble simply by the demigod in the higher level of material existence. Many excel the most and well-to-do human being in the duration of life. This is giving the example of. Similarly, Jayam Agnya displays the Lord's power to kill all disobedient kings. The Lord empowered incarnation like Narada, Varaha, right? And then incarnation of Lord Ram and Dhanvantri displayed his fame, and Balaram, Mohini, Vavana exhibited his beauty. Dattatreya, Matsya, Kurma, and Kapila exhibited the transcendental knowledge. Naranarayana Rishis exhibited the renunciation. It's already 9. Could we finish off this reading these things? Anyone wants to read this?
I can read from
Yes, Prabhu.
Lord Krishna, primeval Lord. So all different indirectly or directly empowered incarnations of the Lord manifested different features. But Lord Krishna, the primeval Lord, exhibited the complete features of the Godhead. And thus it is confirmed that he is the source of all the other incarnations. And the most extraordinary feature exhibited by Lord Sri Krishna was his internal energetic manifestations of his pastimes with the cowherd girls. His pastimes with the gopis are all display of transcendental existence, bliss, and knowledge, although these are all manifested apparently as sex love. The specific attraction of his pastimes with gopis should never be misunderstood. The Bhagavatam relates to these transcendental pastimes in the 10th canto. And in order to reach the position to understand the transcendental nature of Lord Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, the Bhagavatam promotes the student gradually in 9 other cantos.
Yeah, we don't directly go and read Krishna. We read 9 cantos before that. Going and reading Krishna. Yes, Prabhu, continue.
According to Srila Jiva Goswami's statement, in accordance with the authoritative source, Lord Krishna is the source of all other incarnations. It is not that Lord Krishna has any source of incarnations. All the symptoms of the supreme truth in full are present in the person of Lord Sri Krishna. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord emphatically declares that there is no truth greater than or equal to himself. In the stanza, the word Swayam is particularly mentioned to confirm that Lord Krishna has no other source than himself. Although in other places the incarnations are described as Bhagavan because of their specific function, nowhere are they declared to be Supreme Personality. In this stanza, the word Swayam signifies the supremacy as the Saman and Bon. Krishna, the Saman Bon. The Saman Bonam, the highest God, especially as the ultimate God, Krishna is the one with the second. He himself has expanded himself into various parts, portions, and parcels of Swayam Rupa, Swayam Prakasha, Tad Ekatma, Prabhava, Vaibhava, Vilasa, Avatara, Avesha, and Jivas, and provided with innumerable energies just suitable to the respective persons and personalities. Learned scholars in transcendental subjects have carefully analyzed the Samam Bonam Krishna to have 64 principal attributes. All the expansions or categories of the Lord possess only some percentage of these attributes, but Sri Krishna is the possessor of the tributes and percent, and his personal expansion, such as the Swayam Prakasha, Tadekatma, up to the categories of the avatars. Overall, Vishnu Tattva possess up to 93% of the transcendental attributes. Lord Shiva, who is neither a avatara nor avesha nor in between them, possess almost 84% of the attributes. But the jivas are the individual living beings in different statues of life possess up to limit of 78% of the attributes. In the conditioned state of varying
In terms of material existence, the conditioned states of
material,
material
of
existence.
material existence, the living and being possess these attributes in very minute quantity, varying in terms of the pairs life of the living beings. The most perfect of living beings, Brahma, is the supreme administrator of one universe. He possesses 78% of the attributes in full. All other demigods have the same attributes in less quantity, whereas human beings possess the attributes in very minute quantity. The standard of perfection for a human being is to develop the attributes up to the 78% in full. The living being can never possess attributes like Shiva, Vishnu, or Lord Krishna. A living being can become godly by developing the 78% of transcendental attributes in fullness. But he can never become a god like Shiva, Vishnu, or Krishna. He can become a Brahma in due course. The godly living beings, who are all residents of the planets in the spiritual sky, are eternal associates of God in different spiritual planets called Haridhama or Maheshadhama. The abode of Lord Krishna above all spiritual planets is called Krishna Loka or Goloka Vrindavan. And the perfected
living being
perfected living being, by developing 78% of the above attributes in fullness, can enter the planet of Krishna Loka after leaving the present material body.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just went 5 minutes more, I think 5 to 8 minutes more. Sorry for that. Thank you. If you have any questions, message in the chat or put up on WhatsApp. Probably we can see in details if someone wants to know more about this, the different avatars which we talked about, the Prabhavas, Ektat, Ekantat avatar, Avesh avatar. Maybe we can discuss in the next class if anyone interested. Hare Krishna. Also next week, next Friday is Sri Radha Gopinath's anniversary. So we may not have on Friday class. So what I'm going to put a poll whether we can have on a Saturday. If many people are there, we can do it on Saturday evening. Okay. Or else next week we may not have class. So around 10 people are there, do next week class. Hare Krishna, any quick reflection questions before we call it? All good?
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. This week, Last Festival is
Prabhuji.
coming
Hare
up. Narsimha Chaturthi is there next Thursday. An annual.
Yeah.
So Narsimha Chaturthi ki jai. Lord Narsimha, let him appear in all our hearts and give us the power to do our sadhana very well.
Prabhuji fasting, until sunset.
Yeah, until
And then eating Ekadasi Prasadam.
Yes.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So Narsimha Chaturthi, then Gaura Purnima and Janmashtami. These are the 3 days. Yeah. Fasting up to. For Krishna Janmashtami, it is fasting up to noon, midnight.
Midnight.
Yeah. For Narsimha Chaturthi and Gaura Purnima, it's up to the moonrise.
Sunset.
Sunset and moonrise, yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Narsimha Chaturthi is also till sunset.
Yeah. Correct.
Evening.
Sunset.
Yeah,
Yes.
fast breaking in the evening, no?
Correct.
Yeah.
With Ekadeshi, without grains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Let
Prabhuji.
me
Hare
stop recording.
Thank you all.